You know it's coming to an end, don't you? That phase that wore you out so much, that took away your sleep, that seemed never-ending, it's ending. And this is not just a coincidence. It's not something happening by chance. This is happening because it needs to happen, because you need to move forward. Do you feel it? This weight, this feeling that something is changing, even if you don't yet understand exactly what is coming. It's a farewell, but it's also a beginning. And you know you are ready, even if you are afraid to admit it. Don't pretend you haven't noticed the signs. They are there, they always have been. Always. That strange feeling, the coincidences you can't explain, the way certain things started to align or fall apart. This is not just chance. It's life pushing you to the next step. And now you need to decide. Will you continue to ignore it or finally face it? Be honest with yourself. What are you holding on to? What are you afraid to let go of? Because sometimes the only thing separating you from the life you should truly be living is the courage to leave behind what no longer makes sense. Don't run from this message. Don't run from yourself. You know you need to hear this now. And you know you need to act. You can't continue ignoring what you feel, not now. Not at this moment when life is practically shouting at you, asking you to pay attention. The time has come to face what you have been postponing. It's not just about leaving behind what no longer serves you. It's deeper than that. It's about accepting that you can't keep clinging to something that no longer makes sense. I know it's not easy. I know there's fear, doubt, that feeling of, what if I'm wrong? But let me tell you something. The mistake is not in moving forward. The mistake is in staying still when everything around you is already in motion. You can't expect change to come to you without taking the first step. If you look inward now, without distractions, without excuses, you'll realize that you already have the answers. They've always been there. You just refuse to listen to them. Why? Because of the fear of losing control? Fear of leaving your comfort zone, even knowing it doesn't make you happy? Maybe it's time to admit to yourself that this control never existed. That, in reality, everything you tried to hold on to was slipping through your fingers while you pretended not to notice. And it's okay to feel afraid. It's okay not to have all the answers, nobody does. But it's not okay to give up on yourself. It's not okay to keep ignoring the signs and pretending they're not for you, because they are. This moment, this message, this feeling you're having right now, all of it is for you. There's no coincidence here. You know what's most important right now. Stop looking at what you think you lost. Stop blaming yourself, mulling over the same thoughts, clinging to the idea that you should have done something different. The past has already played its part. It doesn't matter anymore what happened. What matters is what you're going to do now with what's left. And let me tell you something you might need to hear. What's left is enough. What's left is what you need to restart, to rebuild yourself, to do something you can't even imagine you're capable of. Because, despite everything, you're still here. And that is not insignificant. Have you ever noticed how the things that transform us the most are precisely the ones we try to avoid? It's as if life knows exactly where to touch to move us from our place. And now it is touching you. It's calling you. And you know it, because you feel it. You feel it in the silence, in the pauses, in the moments when nobody is watching. You feel it when you think about what you really want for yourself, what you need to change, what you are tired of carrying. And yes, it is exhausting, it is painful, but it is also necessary. Because without this process, you will never move from your place. You will never discover what you are truly made of. You will never know what awaits you on the other side. And this is what you need to understand now. There is another side. There always is. But you will only get there if you are willing to go through what is in front of you. Nobody will do this for you. Nobody can carry your choices, your responsibilities, your fears. Only you. And deep down you know this. You know it is time to face it. You know it is time to stop hiding behind the same excuses, the same stories you tell yourself. It is not meant to be easy. It is not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to be real, to transform you, to prepare you for what comes next. Because yes, what comes next is bigger. It is better. It is different. But you will only discover this if you have the courage to let go of what is holding you back now. And here is the main point. What do you have to lose? What do you really think will happen if you decide to move forward, if you decide to trust the process, if you decide to listen to what life is trying to tell you. Maybe you are wondering if you can really do it, if you are strong enough. And the answer is simple: you are already here. That is proof enough that you can do it. No matter what has happened so far, you survived. You made it to this moment. That means something. That means everything. So why keep procrastinating? Why keep pretending it's not about you? It's time to act. It's time to face what needs to be faced. It's time to tell yourself that you will no longer accept living less than you know you deserve. The universe has already done its part. It has already brought you here. It has already sent the signs. It has already placed the opportunities in front of you. Now it's up to you to decide. Are you going to keep standing still, waiting for something magical to happen? Or are you finally going to take the step you know you need to take? The choice is yours. It always has been. You need to understand that life is not going to wait for you. It goes on. Time doesn't stop. Opportunities don't stay frozen in place waiting for you to decide if you're ready. Either you seize the moment now or it passes. And when it passes, there will only be that void, that bitter feeling that you could have done more, but chose not to. I know it's hard to face this. I know it hurts to admit that maybe you've spent so much time hiding behind excuses, trying to justify to yourself why you haven't taken the next step yet. But now, there are no more justifications. The universe brought you here for a reason. This message did not come to you by chance. You know that. Deep down, you know you needed to hear this now. It's time to look at yourself with honesty, to see everything you've tried to avoid. The wounds you pretended weren't there, the fears you tried to disguise, the dreams you put aside because you thought it wasn't the right time. All of this needs to come to light now. Not to overwhelm you, but to set you free. Because as long as you don't face these parts of yourself, they will continue to hold you back. They will continue to restrain your steps, preventing you from moving forward. Stop for a moment. Breathe. Listen to yourself. What do you really want? What is your heart asking for? Don't think about what people expect from you, what would be safer, what would be easier. Think about what truly makes sense to you. Because the truth is, no one can live your life for you. No one can carry the weight of your choices. And no one, absolutely no one, can decide what is best for you except for you. And that is why you are here now, because the time has come to decide. The time has come to choose between staying in the same place, complaining about the same things, living the same cycles, or finally breaking this chain that holds you and starting something new. Something true. Something that is really yours. I know you feel the resistance. I know the fear appears every time you think about changing. But let me tell you something that you may have never realized, that fear is not your enemy. It is a sign that you are about to step out of your comfort zone. And stepping out of your comfort zone is what brings growth. It is what takes you to the next level. Do you think you are alone in this process? You are not, you never were. But help only comes when you allow yourself to receive it. When you choose to open up to the new, trust in what is to come, believe that despite the difficulties, you are capable. And this is where many people get stuck, because trusting is not easy. It requires courage. It requires you to look at everything that has happened and say, yes, it was difficult, but I am still here. And as long as I am here, I can do something different. Can you feel that? This possibility that is before you now, it's almost like an open door, but it won't stay open forever. This opportunity you have today, this chance to restart, to do something different, it won't wait forever. So, what are you waiting for? The perfect moment? The perfect moment does not exist. Courage will not appear out of nowhere. Change will not come to you while you stand still. You are the one who needs to take the first step. You are the one who needs to decide that the time has come. And when you decide, something magical happens. Not because everything will be resolved at once, but because the simple act of deciding changes everything. It changes the way you see yourself, the way you see the world, the way you face challenges. Deciding is the first step to freedom. And make no mistake, freedom has a price. It requires you to leave behind what no longer serves you. It requires you to let go of what you are holding on to, even if it scares you. But it is a price worth paying, because on the other side of freedom is the life you always wanted to live, but never had the courage to pursue. Now tell me, what do you really have to lose? What is more frightening to you? continuing to live the same life as always, full of dissatisfaction and regrets, or taking a risk with something new and possibly discovering what it truly means to be alive. You are not here to live halfway. You are not here to accept less than you deserve. You are here for something bigger, something that you might not see yet, but that is waiting for you. But only you can open that door. Only you can take that step. And you know what's amazing? You already have everything you need. Nothing is missing. There is no better moment than now. There is no one more prepared than you. Everything you have been through, all the pain, the lessons, the difficulties, all of it has brought you here. It has prepared you for this moment. So, why wait any longer? Why keep postponing what you know you need to do? The universe has already done its part. Now it's your turn. Don't let this opportunity pass by. Don't let fear be greater than your desire to grow. Because in the end, the only thing that really matters is what you choose to do now. You know what you need to do. Deep down, you've always known. This is the moment that can change everything. But change will never happen if you keep waiting for it. It's time to stop looking for external signs and understand that the biggest sign has always been within you. It's that restlessness, that desire for something more, that feeling that life can't be just this. It can't just be about surviving, waiting for tomorrow, accepting a reality that was never really yours. Now I want you to think. Close your eyes if necessary and really reflect. What is holding you back? What are you still holding on to that no longer makes sense? What do you need to let go of to set yourself free? Don't be afraid to admit the truth, even if it hurts, because only when you face the truth can you transform it. And don't be mistaken, this transformation will not happen overnight. It won't be easy or comfortable, but you weren't made for a life of comfort. You were made to grow, to challenge yourself, to find the meaning of your existence. And that meaning will never be found if you keep hiding behind excuses or waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. You know, it's common to feel lost, confused, afraid of the unknown. It's part of the process. But let me tell you something. You don't need to have all the answers now. You just need to be willing to take the next step. One step at a time, small but firm, because each step brings you closer to the life you truly desire. And here is the truth that many ignore. No one is going to live this life for you. No one is going to do the work that is yours. People can support you, inspire you, give you advice, but in the end, it is you who needs to decide. It is you who needs to stand up and say, I deserve more, I will fight for more. If you are feeling fear right now, that is a good sign. Fear only appears when we are about to leave our comfort zone. It is your signal that something important is coming. So instead of running from it, embrace it. Use that fear as fuel to move forward, because fear only has power if you let it paralyze you. Now stop and think. What is waiting for you on the other side? What can you achieve if you have the courage to let go of everything that holds you back now? And more importantly, what will you lose if you keep standing still, if you keep postponing, if you keep living a life that is not yours? You cannot afford to wait any longer. Life is not going to stop for your sake. Time is not going to slow down for you to make a decision. Each passing day is a lost opportunity, a chance that will not come back. So, why keep hesitating? You are already enough. You already have everything you need inside of you. Nothing is missing. Don't wait for the moment when you will feel ready, because that moment never comes. Readiness comes when you decide to act, even with fear, even with doubts, even without knowing exactly what is coming. Now, I want to make you an invitation to look at your life and make a decision, a simple but powerful decision, to stop waiting, to stop postponing, to stop living in the almost. It's time to live fully. It's time to be the person you know you can be. And for that, I want to ask you something. If this message resonated with you, if you feel that this is exactly what you needed to hear today, don't keep it just to yourself. Share in the comments what's going through your mind right now. Write about what this message made you feel, about what you know you need to change. It doesn't matter if it seems small or big. What matters is that it's true, because sometimes the simple act of putting into words what we feel is already a step towards transformation. Besides that, leave your like. It seems like a simple thing, but it's a way to show that this message touched you, that it made sense. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe now. Because this is a space for reflections, for growth, for real conversations about what truly matters, and I want you to be a part of it. And here's the last thing I want to tell you. The choice is yours. It always has been. No one can take that away from you, so decide now. Decide to be who you've always wanted to be. Decide to leave behind what no longer serves. Decide to trust the process, even if it seems uncertain, because the universe has already done its part. It has already brought you this far. It has already shown you the signs. Now it's up to you to take the next step. I believe in you. Now, do you believe? I'm here to listen to you. Tell me in the comments, what's the next step you're going to take? What did this message awaken in you? Let's go together on this journey.